He created one of the most recognizable characters on the planet without saying almost a single word. A man who struggled with a stutter as a child grew up to become one of the most beloved physical comedians in history, entertaining audiences who don't even speak his language. He trained as an electrical engineer, not an actor, and the character that made him a global icon was born, almost by accident, in front of a mirror at university. This is the story of Rowan Atkinson, the man behind Mr. Bean. He was born Rowan Sebastian Atkinson on January 6, 1955, in Newcastle upon Tyne, England, and grew up in the town of Consett, County Durham. His father, Eric Atkinson, is a farmer and company director. His mother, Ella May, comes from a modest, hard-working background. He's the youngest of 4 brothers, growing up in a middle-class household that values education and discipline. As a child, Rowan struggles with a pronounced stutter, a challenge that could have held many people back, but instead, it seems to sharpen something else in him. An unusual talent for observation, physical expression, and communicating without relying on words at all. It's a skill that, without anyone realizing it at the time, is quietly building the foundation for the character that will define his entire career. Academically, he heads down a path that seems to have nothing to do with comedy. He studies electrical engineering at Newcastle University, then goes on to earn a further degree in the same field at the Queen's College, Oxford. It's at Oxford, though, in 1975, that everything changes. There, he meets 2 people who become decisive figures in his life. Writer Richard Curtis, who would later pen some of Britain's most beloved comedies, and composer Howard Goodall. The 3 begin performing together, and Rowan starts hunting his comedic instincts at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, developing a reputation as a uniquely gifted physical performer, long before television ever comes calling. His television breakthrough arrives in 1979 with the sketch show, Not the 9 O'Clock News, which earns him his first BAFTA award and establishes him as one of the sharpest new comic talents in Britain. From there, he takes on the role that would cement his reputation as a serious comedic actor, Edmund Blackadder, the scheming, sharp-tongued lead of the historical sitcom Blackadder, which runs across multiple eras and seasons and becomes one of the most celebrated British sitcoms ever made. But it's back at Oxford years earlier, where the seed of his most famous creation was actually planted. Practicing alone in front of a mirror for a university sketch assignment, Atkinson begins pulling faces and experimenting with a strange, near-silent character, someone whose humor comes entirely from expression and physical comedy rather than dialogue. He draws heavy inspiration from French filmmaker and comedian Jacques Tati, particularly Tati's classic film, Mr. Hulot's Holiday. That silent, mirror-born character finally gets a proper television debut in 1990, Mr. Bean. The show is an instant sensation, and it becomes something rarer than just a popular sitcom, a genuine global phenomenon. Because Mr. Bean relies almost entirely on visual gags and physical comedy rather than spoken dialogue, the character transcends language barriers in a way almost no other television character ever has, becoming just as beloved in Japan, Brazil, and India as it is in Britain. 2 feature films follow, Bean, in 1997, and Mr. Bean's Holiday in 2007, both massive international box office successes. Alongside Mr. Bean, Atkinson builds out an impressively varied career. He voices Zazu, the fussy red-billed hornbill, in Disney's animated classic, The Lion King in 1994. He plays a bumbling secret agent in the Johnny English spy comedy franchise, and he stars as a hapless police inspector in the sitcom, The Thin Blue Line. Over the decades, the accolades pile up: BAFTA awards, a Cable Ace Award, multiple international television personality awards throughout the 1990s and 2000s, and eventually a Career Achievement Award in 2020. In 2013, he's appointed a CBE, Commander of the Order of the British Empire, in recognition of his services to drama and charity. His personal life has unfolded largely outside the spotlight he spent decades performing in. He met Sunitra Sastry in the late 1980s while she was working as a makeup artist for the BBC, and the couple married in 1990 at the Russian Tea Room in New York City. They have 2 children together and remain married for around 25 years before separating in 2015. He later begins a relationship with actress Louise Ford, considerably younger than him, and the couple welcome a daughter together. True to form, Atkinson keeps nearly all of this remarkably private, rarely discussing his family life in interviews and largely avoiding the celebrity press circuit that consumes so many performers of his fame level. Away from acting, Atkinson has one very public, very consistent passion: cars. He's an avid collector of sports and classic automobiles, has competed in amateur motor racing, and has spoken at length in interviews about his genuine engineering fascination with how vehicles are built, a hobby that traces directly back to that electrical engineering degree he earned decades before Mr. Bean ever made him famous. He lives a famously private, low-key lifestyle for someone this widely recognized, rarely attending flashy public events, and generally avoiding the modern celebrity spotlight altogether. Today, at 71 years old, Atkinson has said a full live-action return to Mr. Bean is unlikely, though he stopped short of ruling it out entirely, admitting in interviews that he still occasionally thinks about revisiting the role. The character lives on regardless, through an ongoing animated Mr. Bean series that continues airing for new generations of children on television around the world. His estimated net worth by 2026 sits somewhere between $150 and $200 million, built primarily on decades of acting royalties, box office earnings, and the enduring licensing power of the Mr. Bean character itself. A character that, more than 3 decades after it first appeared on screen, still needs no translation to make audiences everywhere laugh. From a stuttering farm boy in County Durham, to an electrical engineering student practicing faces in a mirror, to the creator of one of the most universally beloved comedic characters ever put on screen, the story of Rowan Atkinson proves that sometimes the biggest laughs in the world don't need a single word at all.